Welcome back to Creative Frenzy. Alright, as promised, we are going to have a sketchbook tour. I'm not entirely sure where I left off the last time I did a sketchbook tour, so some of this might be a repetition of that. But there's a lot of new content here too. So, this summer has been interesting. Let's just leave it at that. So I've been very creative in the studio and trying to keep busy and trying to create every day, really, in different formats. So one of my favorite things to do was painting and drawing and sketching and whatnot else in my sketchbooks. Now I have varying sizes. None of them are expensive. And they're a lot of fun to create in. So they don't hold up well to certain medias, especially this one. This one I got at the dollar store. These ones I got at a discount store. But, you know, we're going to go through them anyway. And we shall see. Alright, so hopefully I am in frame. It's been a while since I've filmed, so if I'm a little out of frame, my apologies. I will do my best to stay within the parameters. Okay, so I saw this one video, and I will leave her name in the description box below. She's an artist who got me onto this whole end page paintings in your sketchbook. So when you don't know what to start with in a sketchbook, especially when it's a new one, do end pages. It's a lot of fun to just sort of be creative and do something completely whimsical or different. Even if it's just a single color, it's okay. Not a big deal. That's what I like about it. So it turned out really well. Again, I'll leave her name down below. So here we are. You know, swatches, we all seem to do them. And they're a lot of fun because you get to just sort of play with your colors, see what you have, and go from there. So, again, I don't know where I left off the last time I did this, so we're just going to go through it. I try to stay as loose as I possibly can in my sketchbooks. I use acrylics, inks, I use oil pastels, what else do I use? Markers, my Prismacolors, of course, I love those. Those are my favorite to use, I think, with acrylics. And my inspiration comes from other artists online, from pictures on Pinterest. You can take your own pictures and go from there, or just sometimes I just draw from my imagination. To be truthful, that's how most of them are. But sometimes you get inspired. And sometimes you want to do a study of certain things, so a lot of plants are in this. Some better than others, unfortunately. Some figure drawings. Sometimes I just stay on one side, sometimes I do both sides. It just depends on what I feel like. This page started ripping out because I made it too wet, so I just used some washi to put that back in. Don't forget, your sketchbook is a place to play and just have fun. This was inspired by a Pinterest picture that I saw. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it if you ever look at anything on Pinterest for the most part. I've done some acrylic landscapes, which turned out quite well. Very happy with that. Dark and moody. I love this page. So I started the sketchbook in August of 2022. This one anyway. So I try to draw on a regular basis. It doesn't always work out, and sometimes things are crooked and, you know, a little bit off, but that's okay. The idea is to just stay creative, right? Another Pinterest picture. I think it's one of those statue thingies. Garden statues or whatever. Gargoyle, maybe. Some carrots. It was around Easter, so I just quickly drew some, just having fun. I really do enjoy this though, with the pink background and everything. It's really cute. And then of course, you know, try some different wallpapers, just for the fun of it, right? So I just put a bunch of color down and then I just draw over top. And here we go into flowers again and plants. Try my hand at some landscaping. My perspective is a little off, but that's okay. That's how we learn. And then sometimes I get really abstract and just have fun with stencils. Same here. This is just freehand, but I love the color combinations, really bright. Another picture that I saw on Pinterest that I really liked, and I just added the spiders and just did it in different colors. I'll usually keep a stack of gel prints on my desk or close to my desk, and then I will draw on those and then I will just glue them in. So it looks like it has a really pretty border, even though I did it separately. So it's kind of nice to be able to just insert them, you know, in different areas and stuff. And that way you use your whole sketchbook. This is another one of those gel print papers that I just glued in. And seagull. I like the whole idea of putting the little color legend on the side and just drawing different things. Just a study of birds, right? I mean, I'm not very good at bird drawings, so I figured I'd give it a shot. And seagulls are kind of wonky looking anyway, so they're a lot of fun to draw. This one's cute too. And then I get into abstracts, more collage and things like that. So a lot of my gel prints end up in sketchbooks, which is, you know, a lot of fun to play with too. I do like how they turned out. Again, I just put down color with, you know, acrylics and I just scrape it on there. It's just a little wash. We got a new plant, so I sort of drew it in a different color combination, but it's cute. This is the plant that sits in my kitchen window for the most part. This one I glued down some leaves, and you know, it's very textured, very tactile. I love it. It's a lot of fun to play with. It's a very busy background, but I sort of tried to coordinate things together. I like how it turned out. More collage. My Stabilo Woody I used with a wet brush and did a background, or just did some kind of night scene. And then some backgrounds ready for, you know, future use. So that's how far I got with that one. So I ended up July 21st of this year, so that's not bad. It's not all the way full yet. It's getting there. So I'm very happy with that one. So let's set that one aside, and then we'll work on this one. So this one, end pages, nice bright yellow. I was in a very happy mood that day, apparently. So bright yellow, very pretty. I like it. And then I got into grid work, grid collage and sketches and things. So that's a lot of fun. Again, I will leave names down in the description box below of some of my favorite artists that I follow. And then you can find out for yourself if you like their style or their ideas. But it's a very simple concept, but it has a great impact, which is what I like about it. So I started this one June 20th of this year. Having fun with color and shape and size. I think this is one of my favorites out of all of them so far. These were a DigiKit that I printed out, and I love these circus animals, so I put them in here. So I did collage in the little squares. Actually, no, it started off as a big piece, and then I cut it up into these squares, and then I did the animals over top. But I really love how it turned out. And I had these dimensional stickers, which I thought would be kind of cool to add a little bit of texture. I love the color combination of this one. Turned out well. My edges were really messy because I got a little carried away. Nothing that a little bit of acrylic paint can't fix, you know, just around the edges. It doesn't look great up close, but from a distance, it's not too shabby. It's a great place to play with color and shape and things like that. So I try being abstract and just trying to keep one element in the foreground, but it doesn't always work the way I want it to. Here's a study of the Chinese lantern. I'd love to get one of these plants in my yard, but... And then this is one of those, you know, prints or sheets that I did on a large piece of paper, and then I just cut it up to these little squares. I believe they are 2 by 2 squares. Let me just double check that. A little bit larger than 2 by 2. Yeah, 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, I think, maybe, which is okay. You could just, if your paper is not too thick, just use a punch, and then it's just easy to just punch them out and plunk them into your sketchbook and carry on. It depends on your paper, of course. But for the most part, I just punch one of these out onto thick-ish paper, and then I just trace around it and have it ready for future projects. So there's that one. And then here we have the large sketchbook. This one I got from the dollar store. The paper is not the greatest, but you know, I like the size of it, and there we go. Very, very bright neon color. If you don't know what to do with your neon paints, there you go. Use them as end papers. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I had started this sketchbook already, so you know, this was my first paint that I applied, but it is a lot of fun to do after the fact, so it's okay to play. So I don't know if I remember showing these before, but these are sketches from my backyard or around the garden or in the house. I do gesso inside the squares, and then I used, what did I use? Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, pastel pencils. So I would color it first and then go over top with a water brush, and it works really well. I like the texture of it. It looks really, I don't know, it's very interesting. It does not behave the same way as watercolor, obviously, but I do like how it looks on paper, especially over top of the gesso. So that made me extremely happy finding out I had a different medium. So that was fun. Another one. Again, I'm not very great at drawing birds, so, you know, practice, practice, practice. It can only make you better, that's for sure. So, and I got bored apparently. My bonsai study, which was a lot of fun to do. I love bonsai trees. There's something about the shape of them that really attracts my eye. So there's that. That's just in charcoal, nothing too specific. A night scene. I love how the reeds and the grasses turned out here. I just used a spatula, or you could use a credit card or any straight edge really for that matter. And I try to keep things on sort of one side from here on in, because this paper is not the greatest. It's kind of papery. Does that make sense? But when I try to put washi tape on there, it just really, it rips it to no end, and it just really drove me crazy. But this has some kind of shimmery paint in this paint set that I really enjoy, so I like how that turned out. Playing with color, the navy, the red, and the pink and yellow. I really enjoyed that. And that's just loose, just trying to stay loose. This one was all kind of squares and just nice color combination. I really liked it. I go to Pinterest for, I have a Pinterest board that is all color combinations. And I mean, you can buy books and stuff like that too, but if you go to Pinterest, you can find just about anything there. And that works really well. And this is just a sticker from, it used to be up on my wall, but I took it off. But I like this little dog. So cute. So he sits in here because this book is big enough to hold it, even though the little feather sticks out. And then here I have some grid work ready for a future project. So yeah, simple ideas, but great results, which is what I like about it. So I hope you enjoyed the sketchbook tour. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. Please join me on my journey. You can subscribe, click on the notification bell so that you can get notified when my videos come up again. I don't know how often I will be posting now that I'm back on YouTube again, but at least once a week. That's the goal. So I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.